Hey, it's Ange here, your personal transformation specialist and founder of Firefly. Now, today is a little story, okay? It's a little story about racing car driving. Now, I heard a podcast. It was a Tony Robbins podcast, and he was talking about how he went and learnt how to racing car drive. And then I went and spoke to my husband about it, and he said, yeah. And I went, I never knew. So you and I are both going to now know the secret to being a high-speed racing car driver, because stay with me, because this is exactly what we need to apply to our life, okay? So if you are wanting to become a high-speed racing driver, not only do you need the right tools and the equipment and the car, but you also need to know how to overcome fear so you don't crash into the wall at 300 kilometers an hour. Yeah? So generally, when people first get into a high-speed vehicle and they can see a hairpin turn coming up in front of them, there's a wall, right? So imagine this racing car on a track, coming up 300 kilometers an hour, there's a hairpin turn that they must do, and there's a wall on the other side of that hairpin turn. Now, if you've never been taught how to drive a racing car, I can pretty much guarantee you're gonna head straight to that freaking wall. Why? Because you can see your potential death, the thing that frightens you most, crashing into a wall right in ahead of you, and you freeze like a deer in headlights. So instead of taking the hairpin turn, you freeze. It's like, oh my God, I need to see myself die in this wall. I need to see myself crash. And that's like a life, right? Things that we don't, that we feel uncomfortable with, that we're scared of. Change is scary. Not changing is scary. We get stuck like a deer in headlights, and instead of taking the hairpin turn, we crash. Okay, so what does a racing car driver do in order to make the hairpin turn and not stay stuck on the fear of crashing into the wall? Well, the instructor teaches them this technique, and this blows my mind. The instructor's sitting beside you, learning to drive this car. And what he does, or she does, is she pulls your head exactly to the left if that's where your hairpin turn's coming. So you're 300 kilometers an hour, going down, there's a wall, and they go, and you turn. Why? Because you are going to turn where you are focusing on. And it takes about 5 or 6 goes before they get it. So for five goes, they're going, crash, until the instructor pulls their head. And then what happens is they create a muscle memory, and they know, hairpin turn, where do I want to go? There. Yeah? Now you think about it, and I went, oh my God, of course, I've always done this in every single sport. When I was going to take a shot in hockey, I didn't focus on the goalie, because of course the ball was going to go to the goalie. I'd focus on where I wanted the ball to go in the far left or right hand pocket, right? But if you're focusing on what you don't want, if what is scary of all the dangers that could potentially happen, you are going to crash into that metaphoric wall. Unless you turn your head and you start focusing more on what you want, or where you want to go, or what you want to be, do, have, or create. So I hope this analogy helps. Drop me a comment, let me know what you think. But I love the analogy of you are behind your own race car every single day. And if you focus more on what you want, you're not going to have as many crashes, and you're going to start making the turns that you need to start living a life you love. Hope to see you in the Firefly tribe. The link's below to check it all out. Let us support you. Join a community that's cheering you on and also supporting you on the days where it's a lot harder. I'm going to teach you everything I know in the Firefly Academy, or if you want one-on-one coaching, check that out too. From my heart to yours, mwah! Go drive your racing car. Bye.